My goal today is to inspire you with 4 reasons showing you how you definitely can become more bulletproof, and if you desire, run even faster and jump even higher than you thought was possible. This is my real workout, so I may use some notes here. There won't be any retakes. We'll get what we get. Now, what's so awesome about all 4 of these is that you can start their progression with 0 equipment whatsoever. As you progress, you can makeshift any of it with anything in a gym or up to about $10. And then even the Mac Daddies, if you look at everything I'm using, you can look in the description and you can see how you can build out your own ATG with less than the price of a single treadmill. So all links are in description. So that's pretty awesome that you can start with body weight only. You can makeshift from any gym and you can build out your own gym cheap. But what's even more awesome is that everything here scales so that anybody can apply it. Grandparents around the world are applying all 4 of these. Now, you just saw my last set of A series, which is Peterson Step Up. Now, why should we be inspired that we can go further there? We should be inspired that we can go further there because we know, starting, that the stiffer the ankle and the weaker the knee over the toe, we know makes us more likely for knee pain and for knee ligament tears. So in 0, we're just building our own ability to handle our own weight while also building the ability to handle that. So we're handling that not only through the knee, but through the ankle, which then works when that knee is over the toe. It works the soleus, which has the strongest pull pound for pound of any muscle in the human body and has been found to be the key for bulletproofing your Achilles. So we start out with no weight. You should be inspired that we have solutions to put money in the bank for our knees and Achilles, among others. Then in dense, we had a slant board. Again, you can makeshift this, but in terms of gym equipment, holy cow, a slant board is so cheap. And the slant board is proven for our patellar tendons. Yes, you can grow and strengthen your tendons the same way we grow and strengthen muscles, you know, anabolic qualities. We grow and strengthen tendons. It's just a slower process because the tendons get less blood flow. So that's why we use insane amounts of blood flow in beginning stages, which I'll put the links to those as well. So we progress from just handling our own weight at ankle and knee to then getting strong in a proven physiotherapy movement, right? But instead of just stopping physio and going back to sport, we have, look at what's happening here. What does this remind you of? And then we progress in standards, removing the slant board. Everything would be 2 inches higher, but look how everything regresses, that grandma can be working this. Now we remove that slant board, and then, see, it's only 2 inches higher because now you're on your toes, whereas the slant board put you there, same angle. Now we're getting strong through the foot. No studies, the Peterson Step Up. This is the Peterson version. With the slant board is the Poliquin version. Peterson and Poliquin produced tons of Olympic medals in people who already had knee pain and knee surgeries and thought they were done. So you have literal gold, literally, waiting for you from the progression of Patrick, which is my version, heel flat, to Poliquin slant board, to Peterson, no slant board. No studies have even been done. So we know that the Patrick and the Poliquin version, there's even pictures of people not with a name for it, and it never got popularized, doing Patrick step-ups, proven, okay? Poliquin and Patrick step-up are no-brainers. But a Peterson step-up, think how cool that is, that we have no studies done on having to put the weight on your own toes. The form is very strict. It's probably worth it to just watch the points of strict form right here. So I'm not stopping today, but my editor may put in stuff. So how beautiful is it? We all have so much more gains by turning our strength training. This is literally how you decelerate, okay? And 669% more money has been spent on acceleration than deceleration, but that should make us very optimistic that we have so much untapped potential. There's no doubt that the step-up progression alone got me from 3 surgical alterations in this knee, The worst was actually became the right because of diagnosed tears that at that point I was too depressed, didn't want to operate. My mission in life was to figure out how to bulletproof my knees. After that point, no more surgery, decided to figure out how to bulletproof it. Did it, greatest known knee transformation in it. I never looked back. Once getting in those step-ups right, I never had to look back. We know that literal gold medals may await us. We can achieve world-class knee transformations with that as the foundation. Now moving on to tibialis. Holy crap, should we be optimistic? I never thought I would dunk off 1 foot, because even once I could dunk off 2 feet from my step-ups, which gave me the power to jump off 1, but horrible shin splints. This, oh my goodness, adding the tibialis to the step-ups, now something like basketball that used to be my source of misery, is pure bliss. Literally, just observe tibialis and step-up together. That's literally all our knee pain in basketball. That's where you are directly putting money in the bank. The stronger you get at either of these without pain, because pain wouldn't be confront. You actually don't make the same muscle connection when you push through pain. The form is different. That's why we coach the form on the last set. That's the game changer. Male athletes, 9 times out of 10, butcher the form and don't get the fullest results. Females are much better but lack the confidence and actually end up training harder. Females have the opposite problem, and their form is likely to be perfect, but they're likely to think it's not perfect and hold themselves back. So in both cases, 9 out of 10 times, if we don't coach the form, the results are not the same. So I'm now, just as that was a strength movement, I'm now taking this to failure. Look how simple this is. With a $10 floss band, you can makeshift it. You can start this with body weight alone. And we have no studies. I mean, for exercise science researchers, a gold mine is waiting simply by loading a key muscle. I believe in God. I believe that things were created for a reason. This is my belief. You're entitled to your own belief. But whatever you believe in, all you have to do is look at how we decelerate. And this is actually the first line of defense to protect our knees. Again, literal gold weights. I have private videos from world record holders training this with evidence of them training years before breaking world records. It's common sense. It's so simple for all of us. And as you can see, my goal is to work with doctors, with exercise science people. I only got where I am from observing the greatest successes. I've only looked now at studies and stuff. I never looked at a study, honestly, when I made my knee transformation. I just looked at the greatest successes and followed those clues. Things addicting, so I'm doing some more. But this is now the first exercise of B series on Monday's workout. So we got our step up, which that's the third progression. You go from Patrick to Paulkman to Peterson. And now, minimum once a week, but the Wednesday and Friday leg sessions are shorter, so I could do this again Wednesday, Friday if I want. It's set up that way intentionally because so many people are weak on their triple flexors. That's what I'm working now in these 3. So this should just make every person of every age wildly optimistic that just by getting stronger in the exact opposite of where that force comes in, we can all be more protected. No equipment needed on 0. Start gradually loading on dense for higher reps, and then look, you can see I'm taking that muscle of failure so safely on stand. And you can see how easy this triple flexion circuit is. It's just beautiful. And again, even the Mac Daddy and equipment is cheaper than, a single chest press, a single lat pull down costs more than the entire ATG system. It's just so obvious, that exercise alone, there's gold waiting for all of us and 0 studies done on it. So exercise scientists, you got a gold mine waiting for you there. With the step up for exercise scientists, you better get yourself trained because the form is extremely precise in that. But we have ATG fam right now going through schooling. We have ATG fam who are graduating as doctors and all this stuff who are going to be totally helping change the game. But it takes a lot of schooling to get to those levels and to do those things and to have the time for studies. I'm in the trenches 7 days a week. It's not my game, right? It's not what got me here. No study actually helped formulate my system. I only had to look back to help verify it. But remember, the greatest successes in the world are people, and everyone has this power, are people who are able to see something and know it's true and know it'll work before everyone else has verified it. Uber, Amazon, Tesla, the list goes on and on. We all have that power within us because the truth is self-evident. You can see it in the examples of these exercises. It's self-evident, and now the people in those fields of research and stuff can verify it. So I'm right there with you researchers, but we do have to admit we've put a disproportionate amount of money on the acceleration. That acceleration creates, boom, the powers that now we literally, through our tibialis and our step-ups, have to now handle. All right, we got some great reasons to be optimistic on knee flexion, and again, anyone can start. My mom's doing this, but the first reason to be optimistic is we don't have any studies on first building the tendons and ligaments. So most people never get to perfect, pain-free, full knee bend. Then they're trying to do Nordics, but it's the full bend that actually develops our ligaments most. So this is, we start working after 12 weeks. So 0 is 12 weeks of rehabilitating full bend. You're just gonna have to listen to me over the chihuahua. You're inside my workout here. Now, in dense strength, then we start working on the way down. We should be very optimistic because we do have excellent studies showing 50% reduction of hamstring injury from that. But that's where the research stops. So when I was about 25, and keep in mind, when I was 16, I have video here, slowest guy on the court. At one point this game, I was so nervous from being so slow that I went out in the hallway and I was puking. Now, even at age 25, after playing college basketball, still couldn't break 5 seconds to 40. I saw Marty St. Louis do this. Hands behind back, glutes contract first. As you can see, I can do that very easily now, and I run a 4.46 on the exact NFL laser timer. So we should all be very optimistic because Marty was 35 years old in this video. 35, still one of the fastest guys in the NHL, the most remarkable ice speed transformation ever, undrafted. Even once he did make the league, cut out, turned himself into Stanley Cup MVP champ, all this stuff. And at 35, was still leading the league in scoring and one of the fastest guys, the only guy in his gym who could do this. And it took me 2.5 years to do this. That took me 2.5 years. So we figured out not only from 12 weeks of eccentrics, then 12 weeks of working the hip elevation, but we should get more optimistic because once we can get up like that, and we'd already been working the eccentrics. Now look at guys like Tyreek Hill. What can they do? Look at this. Boom. The best speed guys can always come back up. Look at Tyreek Hill do that. So I used to think that was something I would never achieve. Now I'm living proof as the slowest guy on any team I was on. I'm living proof. If I can do what Tyreek Hill was doing, if I can get to a laser NFL same 4.40, any athlete can. And I'm now hitting my 30s, and I know for a fact I'm gonna be running 4.3s, maybe even 4.2s by my mid-30s, because look at St. Louis, then look at Jonathan Edwards. Jonathan Edwards didn't win his first gold in triple jump, the most Nordic sport of all time, until he was 34, and he did this. He worked on that once a week for almost 20 years. So by standards, there's my set 3 of those. And then, yep, ego as hell, only it's ego. Notice I'm fighting. This is the Ben Patrick standard. So my abs never touch. So I was trying to fight a full eccentric. So again, no studies on how good we get at the eccentric, really only just training it gently, not dominating. So there's no video on the net until this of people dominating full eccentrics. And I got tons of athletes there in person. So just as Charles Poliquin and Carl Peterson made Olympic medalists, I've helped athletes make millions, many millions of dollars. I've mostly been hired by, and this is all my online membership. I don't take in person, so you'd be surprised. We have guys making tens of millions of dollars, actually some making hundreds of millions of dollars who are ATG online members. But it's gotta be me. I have to be the living proof. I did some of it in the past, like thinking it was normal, but now if you look at my page, I'm only trying to sell with myself. I only wanna sell the truth. If I can't demo it, if I can't be living proof of the result, what am I selling? I'm okay with just selling what I can demonstrate and prove and not trying to extend beyond that. Super good reasons. Again, literal gold, Jonathan Edwards. His country wouldn't sponsor him at first because they looked at everything and they said, dude, it's physically impossible for you to be a triple jumper. His world record still stands, and he won gold in his 4th Olympics at age 34. That doesn't occur, that's an outlier, but we also don't have studies. We don't have studies on guys doing that for 20 years. Look at Adam Archuleta, who was never even supposed to be a football player. He worked on this for 6 years, was doing it weighted. That's actually part of our 4th program line, which comes out when I finish standards in 12 weeks, genetic potential. It's very sensible, resisting on the way up and on the way down with their own respective maximum. So Adam Archuleta, it took him 2.5 years to do a flat rep body weight. 2.5 years it took him. 6 years later, the guy was a first-round pick making tens of millions. His trainer set up a 6-year plan. You don't make the best athletes in the world in 6 weeks. 6 years would be more realistic, and I believe in setting up at least a 2-year plan at a minimum. This one should make us incredibly optimistic because right in line with the Nordic. Okay, I actually could jump and dunk off 2 feet, had a pretty good standing vertical, but I was still slow. Imagine being slow for 15 years, and then you improve everything I showed, tibialis, knee, okay, we do stuff for the hip, but now to run that way, Nordic plus hip flexor, we should all be crazy optimistic because something this simple, loading the hip flexors, 0 studies on this. We don't have any studies, even though this is the #1 difference. This is over 10% of my weight. Back glute locked, back knee locked. Getting above parallel. Let's look at it from this hand. And look, all 3 of these flexors, okay? I'll do a little sickening demo for a second. You can catch up fast, so even if you've been the slow guy for many years. Why? Because of proven strength training. Look at this. I'm training beyond failure. I'm taking this muscle so far beyond failure. You see that? So when you can train something that hard, you can catch it up. So there, 4 reasons to be crazy optimistic. I hope this inspires you. I hope you can see that I have love for exercise science and for medicine. I'm just doing my part, and I can easily argue the best knee transformation ever from observing the greatest clues and successes. For me, it was not from ever looking at a study. I've only looked at studies now after, but I think it would help everyone now. So I can't be that guy. I'm in the trenches 7 days. I have time to hang out with my kid and make a new video every single day and make sure that my members have their form coached, questions answered after every session. That's what I have time for in my schedule. I don't have the finances nor the time to go trying to prove things. That's someone else's game because it's not what gave me the result. So I think that it could help a lot of people though, for the people in those fields to now follow these clues and test them. And as you can see, man, is there a lot to be optimistic about. So anyone who's watched this far, thank you very much. Now I got 2 more rounds of my flexors. Got to do my left leg there and then 2 more rounds in the trenches, baby. Let's go.